Hey guys, this is Tom Hanks. Welcome to another stream. Today we're going to be doing the Automation Community Challenge, Automation and BeamNG, I should say. It is the race truck challenge. So we're obviously going to take these things onto the race track. And as we switch over to automation, I want to say something real quick. We had 12 entries, and mod fixtures not found. Let's see. I thought I had everything. Let's double check. Yeah, it feels like I have I have everything except for two new bodies that wouldn't classify as a truck with a long enough wheelbase in this challenge anyway. So import without mod fixtures. Okay. Anyway, what I forgot what I was gonna say earlier. Well, I'm not gonna actually do a full-on automation review. I feel like it's kind of not that relevant anyway. This is my truck, by the way, because in automation you can't really see what the car is gonna drive like anyway. So I'm just gonna briefly go over all of the cars in automation and then drive them in Beam and then see what's what, see which one is best. I'm actually gonna change my own car here live on camera. I haven't had this opportunity. I haven't had the opportunity to do so, off camera. So I wanted to do this anyway, but haven't had the chance to do so. I am going to go with a naturally aspirated car, and we are going to up the compression. We can go, yep, higher ignition timing is gonna do us some favors. We couldn't quite hit the magical number of, oh yeah, we can easily hit 420 horsepower. This didn't help, however. We can't really, 431. Yeah, that was too much. That last one was too much. Okay, 435. I think I'm happy with that. Since, of course, in this challenge you're only allowed to use rear-wheel drive. So you gotta put that power to the ground. Doesn't matter if you have 2 million horsepower if you can't actually make use of it, right? So this is gonna be my car. It's a 3.4 liter Boxer 6, 435 horsepower is about as much as I can conceive like actually using. Sure, you could potentially give it more horsepower and it would be faster in a straight line. That's no question about that. But being able to accelerate out of a corner without kicking the thing sideways, being all over the place, is actually also a very valuable trait of a race car / truck. So that is why I decided to do it this way. First up, we have the Armageddon by Armor Motors. Let's see. . Oh, this one looks pretty sick. Yeah, I have to say, this one looks pretty cool. Very, very low to the ground. Nice front end design, I like it. Nice side exhausts. And that wing. Wonder how you were actually able to make that fit on the back. Because you saw my car had a wing like right here. Like the 70s/80s-esque Porsche turbo wing, like mounted right here. At the back of the cabin, that's what I had. This is a 6.1 liter V8. It's naturally aspirated and revs to 7,700. This is awesome. This is a great engine. I think that this is going to be doing really well if the car can put the power to the ground. 265s on the front, 305s on the rear. Alloy rims, interestingly enough. Downforce under tray, as expected. Active sport suspension. Okay. This one looks promising. Okay. Next up, the Adler Brutus, which was from... Wait, let's see. There's Discord. This one is by that Carpenter guy. Okay. Let's see. We have a 5 liter V10. A very interesting front end design. Very futuristic. Side pipes as well. Oh, I like that. I like this. Very nicely done. Or is that actually a fixture, or did you make that? I think that should be on the diffuser, shouldn't it? This is nicely done as well. And obviously with the closed bed, it's very easy to fit a wing on top, so that is certainly not a problem. We have a 5 liter naturally aspirated V10 for 541 horsepower, if I could speak. Again, actually very well tuned in my opinion. 7-speed sequential. Not a whole lot of actually, yeah, quite a bit of downforce. So this body just has a better drag coefficient than an actual truck like we've seen before. Yeah. This is still actually surprisingly heavy. Surprisingly heavy, actually. Considering that this seems quite a bit smaller than the other 2 cars we've seen so far. Actually gonna export that. And then the next one as well. I feel like I may have exported this one already. Okay. Let's see. All right. Next up, the AZLKST, which with that name it can really only be a random 41st entry, right? Yep. What if the Russians try to make a race truck a la Ram SRT-10, lower pressure to 10 to 15 psi all around to lower wheel spin? Okay. I mean, if I'm gonna lower the wheel spin on someone's car, I should really lower it on everyone's car. Otherwise it would be very unfair in my opinion. Now this... Okay, now... First of all, what's that? That's the wing, isn't... That's one of the wings, isn't it? And then we have another wing on top. Okay, now... This is interesting, but I feel like it will probably have a really hard time getting that power to the ground, because look at that, it's a 9-liter 1153 horsepower V10. We don't need the reliability that much. But damn, this thing is powerful. I don't think this will be very usable though. I have to be honest. First gear goes up to what, 171 kilometers an hour. Okay. Yeah. Again, this, like, if somebody else who was actually good at driving in Beam would be doing this challenge, it would probably go a different way. But I feel like this is the kind of car that has a lot more potential than what I personally am able to use. That's kind of the problem with this one. Or maybe it isn't. Who knows? We'll see in a couple of minutes, I guess. Well, not a couple of minutes. But we'll see later on. Next up, the GEM SUS 3 by Mr. Johnny. We have a 7-liter 900 horsepower naturally aspirated V10 in here. Again, his car is dead. Like, click everything once. I don't know why this always happens with his cars. Anything else? Yeah. I need to click all of the fixtures as well. Okay. Right. This is 4-door this time, so 4-door might have a weight distribution advantage. Actually, never mind. 62-38. Let's check out that engine. Ooh, now this one is actually... You could go a lot higher with the RPM limit. And it doesn't really have a whole lot of torque. It really comes alive at like 4,500 RPM. But it's still a 7-liter engine, so should not have that much trouble with torque. It's got a really high top speed, but because of that, it has like no downforce. So around a racetrack, this is probably not gonna do amazingly, in my opinion. 325s all around. Okay. Yeah, I think this just is not gonna be able to take corners as well as some of the other cars. Just because of the lack of downforce. Next up we have the Le Belge Murica, which I believe is by Brisket. Yep, it is. So this has a 6.1 liter naturally aspirated V8 with 631 horsepower. Nice, nice exhaust pipes there. Murica. I like this one just for the exterior of it. It looks cool, I have to say. But it is very heavy. Very, very heavy. But also very large. Is the 631 horsepower gonna be enough for this vehicle, is what I'm asking. I mean, it is a very nice torque curve. Wait. The headers are restricting. Yeah, you should really go like race tubular. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, Dr. Love? Not quite sure why this doesn't have. Not quite sure why this has like. Well, it's a V6 anyway, not a V8. Not quite sure why this has like short cast headers as opposed to race tubular headers when this is literally a race truck engine. Seven-speed dual clutch. We've got 305s in the back, 290s on the front. 6-piston carbon ceramics. Downforce under tray. No rear downforce, which is kind of interesting. ESC plus launch control. Standard springs and twin tube dampers. Kind of, again, kind of unusual. You could have easily gone with semi-active because it's not like there's a price limit or anything. But okay, I mean, this is probably one of the more controllable cars because it doesn't have a crazy power to weight ratio. But yeah, the fact that this doesn't have a super high power to weight ratio means that with this being rear-wheel drive, it could actually be very drivable because it would just put the power to the ground a little bit better than some of the other cars. Next up, the LHH Extinctioner. Let's see. Am I going extinct too after driving this? Yeah, Let's see what it has. It's about what I expected. 16.3 liter V12 with 1200 horsepower. It's actually turbocharged. And it's a massive truck body. Somehow he was able to fit the wing in the back here, and also the other one, like so. That's actually a pretty cool looking truck. Okay. But the problem is this right here. 66% of the weight is on the front, 34% is on over the rear, and we only have rear-wheel drive, so you can see the problem there. Okay. 4,500 Newton meters at like 1700 RPM. And like at 1700 or so RPM, it's like you press the on button and there's the power. There's the power. It's just on and go. There's no more. That's all you get. But at 1700 RPM, it's on. Kind of like an electric car in some ways. Interested to see how that is gonna go. Pretty sure that it's just gonna be like, once you reach 1700 RPM, boom, the rear end kicks out and there's nothing you can do anymore. Very long gearing actually. First gear goes up to 211 kilometers an hour. Then in second it still gets 80% wheel spin, up to 266 kilometers an hour. And then when it shifts into 3, it still gets 78.5% wheel spin. Even in 4th, it gets just a tiny little bit of wheel spin. Damn. Okay. This is gonna be up. This is gonna be disqualified, is what this is gonna be, because it needs to have 2 seats. Only has 1 seat. I'm gonna try to drive it regardless, but this is outside of the competition. Because, well, the car needs to have 2 seats and this only has 1, so I'm gonna have to disqualify this one. Would have been extremely scary anyway. But gotta actually write myself a sticky note so I can remember. The LHH extinctioner is gonna be disqualified. Okay, so I wrote that down. Next up, the LLMC Race Ute. Which is by Lowlife Max Camber. In here we have a 5.2 liter V10, naturally aspirated. It's a bright orange car, so that is definitely very flashy. 1431 kilograms is about the lightest we've seen. Let's check out that engine. Ooh, really sort of like a deep torque dip. And then it goes back up, so it definitely has VVL. Yep. Raise exhausts. -9 quality here. Like, that is an interesting choice because you'd think that you want, you know, positive quality just for more power, but not this player. Also -5 quality here and -4 here. Like, if you want to get rid of some power, you may as well just make the engine smaller to also make it lighter. Which would also help, of course, with the weight distribution. Pretty good gearing, I think. We have 325s on the front, 355s on the rear, so this should be able to put its power to the ground. Let's see. Yeah, it's okay. We've seen worse, let's put it that way. Okay, very, very low to the ground, this one. Standard 20 wind. I don't know, is this like a budget build? Kind of feels like it. Yep, a nice little use of the antenna fixtures there. When your music, it's an automation bug. Sometimes. Hey, Lada fan, how's it going? It's a bug in automation. Sometimes the music disappears in this phase. It's a long-lasting bug. I've had this for a long time. And then when you go back to the engine designer, it comes back. And you switch back, it's off. Engine's there. Off. On. Yeah. So that is, I've had this for a long time. Is my internet maybe not doing so hot right now? See, there's the music again once we leave the actual car designer. Which one was yours? I believe I reviewed yours already. Yep, that one was already reviewed. Let's see. This one. Looks interesting but scary is what I'll say about this one. Next up, the Logoris... Well, Logoris' entry. Oh, okay. 10 max displacement V8, 10.9 liters or so, 1287.9 horsepower. So, but this one is turbocharged, so we're gonna get a ton of torque. And this revs to 9100 RPM. Let's check out that engine. Okay, this is about what I thought it was gonna be. I don't know how this is gonna go actually, because like from 2900 RPM or so, from let's say from 3000 RPM onwards, it's kind of like a naturally aspirated engine start, just like, you know, waking up from 3000 RPM. But imagine going around the tight hairpin on the automation track near the start of the track. and hitting that 3000 RPM while being below it at first. There's no chance that, like, actually the truck is gonna snap oversteer and you're not gonna be able to hold it, I think. Or at least I'm not gonna be able to. Yep, and especially with this sort of gearing, sort of like normal car gearing, pretty short. We have 94.6% wheel spin in 5th gear. Okay, this is gonna be exciting. Let's see. 2 seats. Plus 15 quality in all of this. Not really sure why. Probably to bring the weight over the rear end up. To make for better weight distribution, because even so, it has a 62-38 weight distribution. It is... it's gonna be an interesting beast. Like, I can sort of see it functioning, but it's gonna be one hell of a ride for sure. But we've had, like, the LHH entry was much worse when it came to that, but it was also disqualified. Next up, the Panther race truck Super 6. That one is by MK Mailer. We have a 5.3 liter naturally aspirated inline 6, making 746 horsepower, so that's interesting. Also the front end, very unique and kind of cool. Rear end is, take it or leave it, I guess, but the engine seems to be pretty interesting. Let's check that out. That's actually a really good tune for a naturally aspirated car. I like that. I mean, here's the thing, Lada-fan. In automation, I'm only gonna go over each car briefly, because automation doesn't really tell us how the car is gonna drive. So that is what we're gonna be doing in BeamNG, obviously. Yeah, I reviewed that one already as well. It was, I believe, the first car I reviewed. Okay. So again, very dubious weight distribution. With this much power, are we actually going to be able to put it to the ground with rear-wheel drive? Is like the big question with most of these trucks. So yeah. I mean, I guess that's what the semi-slicks are there for, but you know, they're only gonna give you so much grip. Next up, the Punis Maximus. Just so this doesn't get censored. This is by Carlo Vincenzetto. Oh, 11.7 liter V10 making 1400 horsepower. And would you just look at this thing? I mean, even if I completely fail to drive this on the track, which I probably will, you gotta give the man credit for the styling. Like, look at that. Damn. Yeah, this... Like... This one probably it takes the win on the aesthetics. Unless something even better comes along, which is possible, but... So far this is easily the best, the best looking, the coolest looking one. Let's check out that engine. Sort of like a torque dip there in the mid RPMs, but it doesn't matter because you're above like 1200 Newton meters the whole time. Could have actually revved the thing even higher. What is that? The downforce and top speed is too high and is causing the suspension to bottom out, okay. So, actually this doesn't... This has a lot of front downforce. Not a whole lot of rear downforce, but... is this gonna be... It's a sequential 7-speed, okay. 395mm rear tires. What's the weight distribution like? 63, 37. Again. Yeah, again, it's gonna be pretty difficult to put the power to the ground with this one. Like 1400 horsepower. That's no joke. Okay, let's see how many more do we got. 2 more. Super Racer 2500, which is by Sedan 57 Chevy. I made a 2000 plus horsepower V10 twin turbo at that. Yeah, I mean, you can stuff like ridiculously large and powerful engines into these trucks. Like you can have a 4000 horsepower truck if you want to, but who's gonna drive that? Anyway, here we have a 707 horsepower 5.8 liter naturally aspirated V8. The 707 horsepower is certainly no accident, as that is exactly how much power the Hellcat makes. At least I think that's, you know, at least I think it's no accident that it makes this much, exactly this much power. Pretty simple rear end design, but still good. The front end looks pretty cool as well. I like these lights on the top, but what I can't see is anything generating downforce. So we'll have to see. 60-40 weight distribution is better than we've seen on most trucks. Pretty nice torque curve, actually. Okay. 7-speed sequential. 375mm rear tires. Carbon ceramic brakes. Okay. The real problem that I see with this car, or the one problem that this car might have, I should phrase it, is the lack of downforce. It looks really cool though, I like it. Okay. And then, last but not least, we have the Avance Uzo, which was sent in by Sebeseg. This has a 6-liter naturally aspirated V10, making 630 horsepower. With this car, there were some mods that didn't load, so let's see what is missing. I guess potentially the wing. Sebesek, are you here? This looks really good though. Like, the design is very well done. I like the use of these antenna fixtures here as well. This probably should have a wing. Or something generating downforce on the back. Two viewers, yeah. Let's check out the engine, by the way. Oh, that is a very nice power and torque curve. This is actually more like what you would put in a regular car, and we don't actually have any quality spam anywhere. We don't even have race headers. We have a very good gearbox though. This is also one of the lighter cars. Why do people submit cars and then not watch the stream? I don't know. It's like why do people subscribe to my YouTube channel and then don't watch the videos, right? Sorry, this is getting too real. Very high roll angle, actually. You could lower this car a lot. Yep, I did the A150 armor get-in yet. I did that already. This is the last car that I'm gonna review in automation. After this, well, basically I'm done with this. This looks pretty cool. One mod fixture is missing. I don't know what it is. The creator of this car does not seem to be in the Twitch chat, so I can't really ask. But for this car, there was a message saying that one of the mods couldn't be loaded. I don't know what it is though. No problem, no problem. I'll be switching over to Beam, and how the cars drive in Beam is much more important anyway. Okay, so we had 12 entries, including my own car, including my own race truck. I had 16 cars exported in Beam before, so we should be at 28 once we switch over, if I exported everything. So let's fire up Beam. Right, there it is, launch game. And yep, we're at 28. Okay, let's go to the automation track and see what's what. Again, one car got disqualified. It was LHH's car because it only has one seat and it had to have two. So that is the reason why it got disqualified. I'm still gonna, you know what? I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out as the second thing I drive. The first thing is gonna be my own car, just to try and get a feeling as to how these things might drive, or at least how my car is gonna drive, because this, by the way, has a 3.4 liter flat six, making 435 horsepower. So nothing super crazy. Actually hooks up pretty nicely. Can go flat out through here. You know what? I hesitated to say this, but this could actually use a little bit more power. I don't feel like that's a sentence I'm gonna say all that often anymore from here in this challenge. By the way, if the engine sound is too loud, let me know. I can lower it a little bit through OBS. You know what, I'm gonna either lower the tire pressure for everyone or for no one. So, again, there's one more car that's gonna be outside the competition, which is this one. It got disqualified, so let's drive that now. And then we're gonna get into the actual competition. ESC off. Okay, so one of the wings completely disintegrated already. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so that may look cool in automation, but this doesn't functionally work. Okay. Right. Let's get into the competition. A150 Armageddon. Vehicle config. Tuning. Gonna go down to like 20 psi for everyone. Apply. And let's get to driving this. 15? Okay, let's do 15. Okay. Does obviously like to oversteer, but it's not as snappy. It's kind of, since you're already always going to be aware that this thing wants to oversteer, it's actually kind of controllable if you keep your throttle in check. But oh, well, that was sort of like a Scandinavian flick sort of thing, which was my own fault. That's not the car's fault. That happens on every car, I imagine, at least. Drift tap, yeah. By the way, Twitch has improved the delay times, the chat delay times. So if you hear me say a chat in the next couple of seconds, please type delay, okay? Chat. I want to see what the delay is like. Chat? Understeer. No chat? Okay. Or very long delay. Maybe they only improved it for partners? Because this still seems pretty long, or is... Let's try and actually complete a lap in this. It drives pretty well. It's worse if you ask me, huh? Let's see the sort of speeds we can go through here. Okay, that's good. Drives well, this one, actually. How much power does this make? I forgot. But this is still manageable, he says as he bumps into that barrier. Drift tap. I'm using a controller. This one's good, actually. I like it. But it is the first car in the competition, so I can't really say how it's gonna stack up yet. Easy in the front with the AZLK. I figured, yeah. Again, for every car we're gonna lower the tire pressure. Quite a lot of grip on this one, surprisingly. Drives pretty damn well, like, this doesn't even power oversteer very much. Like, so far it hasn't power oversteered at all. It's not quite as fast as the previous car in a straight line, but very, very stable, very controllable. I guess this body is like more like a normal car anyway than like a proper truck, but I did decide to allow it. I think this was a viscous. I think it was a viscous diff, if I remember correctly. Also, I obviously don't floor it through the corner. I don't know. I should probably get the overlays back up. This is actually very nice. Not scary at all to drive. Feels much more like a normal car than like a truck. Because it kinda is more like a normal car, isn't it? I don't know. $15 and $15. This is a lot driftier than the previous car. I believe this is like also it bounces around a lot. Probably down to the diff. I think this is a electric diff. It handles well if you manage to power though. Pretty quick here as well. But how is it gonna do around this corner? Actually, decently. I backed off a little bit. Brakes are good in this one. Okay. It is pretty wobbly and also bounces around, especially when it starts going sideways. Kind of weird. Besides that, it drives actually pretty well. It's very eager to turn in. I believe this is the lightest car in the competition. It's like 14 something, if I remember correctly. Doesn't feel like a truck, actually. But it feels decent, but oh boy. Here comes the big boy. V10s sound too generic. Maybe you've seen too many Vipers in your day. No, Carlo, yours is still up there. How's it going, man? Like yours is still I've reviewed it in automation, but not in Beam yet. Yours is still up. This is fast, dude. Please go around the corner. Holy fuck, that was some understeer. It really sticks to the road, but doesn't actually want to turn that hard. Which is really weird. I feel like this could probably use some more front downforce. Just look at that. Doesn't want to turn at all. Very cool idea. Actually not scary at all to drive, but I don't know what it is. It just doesn't want to turn into the corner. It is a very stable car. You can still, as you saw, get it to get into a drift if you want to, but it is I don't know what it is about this thing. It does not like turning into a corner very sharply. Next up is this one. And another V10. This has like no aerodynamic fixtures at all. And it's extremely bouncy, apparently. Whoa! And all of a sudden it snaps to oversteer. This is Mr. Johnny's car, by the way. I don't know why, but his cars always have like real deformations when I import them. The stream is going really bad. Whoa, okay. The lack of downforce really hurts this thing. Yeah, and the lack of brakes does so too. Okay, now this is not gonna cut it. By the way, let me see if I can change my settings within, like, during the stream. Can I? No, I can't. I was gonna lower the FPS to 30 FPS as opposed to 60, but I can't do that during the stream. I'd have to pause the stream or stop it entirely. But this is not really what I was looking for. La Belge Murica is the next one in line. Oh yeah, or if I forgot, this thing weighs like 2,300 kilograms. So I gotta brake a little bit early for this. Okay, so I was full on the brakes there. Does this car not have brakes at all? Uh-huh. Oh yeah, I forgot to lower the tire pressure on this one, but at the same time that's not gonna help with the braking. Like, as far as putting the power to the ground, this is already good. So we don't need to lower the tire pressure for that reason. But the brakes are just crap. They're fading too. Yeah, let's... Okay, I'm gonna give this... I'm gonna do like half a lap with this, with the lower tire pressure. Just to be on even ground with everyone else. Just to keep it fair, you know? Yeah, it did. Okay, the lower tire pressure made this thing bounce around a lot more there. You saw we didn't have that with the higher tire pressure. Like that right there. Okay. So overall this drives pretty decently. Yeah, the lack of downforce here hurts a little bit, but yeah, the low tire pressure definitely is what's causing that like bouncing around. Also, this car is, compared to some of the other cars, it's kind of lacking in it's kind of a little bit lacking in power as well. Not really that it feels slow, just based on the speeds we were able to achieve in this versus in the other cars. This is a little bit behind for sure. Hey Sergio Guerrero, thank you for subscribing. Damn, thank you so much. And welcome to the stream, I hope you're enjoying it. Next up, the LLMC Race Ute. Vehicle config, tuning. 15. Oh, come on. There we go, 15. Another V10. And this one's actually pretty loud. Give me a second. There we go. Whoa, whoa, okay. This one's kind of a handful, actually. I don't know if that was me being late on the brakes or if the brakes on this are bad, but I seemed fine there, so it was probably me. Whoa. But yeah, this feels really unstable here. It's orange and black, it's designed to end up with the wheels pointing to the sky. I'm definitely fighting more in this car than in any of the other cars so far. Oh, fail race reference, okay. But yeah, out of all the cars so far, this is the most difficult to drive, actually. And surprisingly, not the fastest. So you'd think there's like a trade-off, harder to drive, but therefore faster. Not the case here. Next up, the Logoris. Okay. Finally, something other than a V10. Whoa. With the low tire pressure, this is nearly undrivable. I'm gonna reset and put the tire pressure back to normal, because this bounces around way too much with the low tire pressure. I'm gonna set it to 25. Yeah, now I quietened I made the game quieter through OBS for the last car because it was very loud. Now this one's actually pretty quiet. Put it back to normal level in OBS. Okay, now this is literally undrivable. Even with the higher tire pressure, this oversteers everywhere and is very bouncy. Okay, yeah, this is yeah, this is not good. Okay. Okay. Now, you've seen me take all the other cars around the course so far. And this is the only one that I spun off the track. You can probably figure out for yourself what this one's about. Next up, the Panther Race Truck Super 6. Which is the only inline 6 car we have in the competition. Oh wait, lower the tire pressure, and also we don't have ABS in this one, wait. So, tire pressure. Come on, stay at 15, please. Beam, why you gotta be so clunky? There we go. Okay. Pretty snappy on the 1-2 shift, but Brakes are really good in this one. Very drifty though, even you saw even here in the fifth gear it tried to spin its wheels. Yeah, this has like 746 horsepower, so... Oh, yeah. No ABS means we're going straight into that wall under braking. It's not as well balanced as the other cars. It doesn't put the power down as well. It has a lot of power and it's got good brakes. But the lack of ABS is really hurting. Now for the big gun. The really big fella is coming up. Just look at that thing. I'm looking forward to trying this out because I have no idea how well it's gonna be like. Okay, something broke off on the rear. I don't even know what that was there for, but... This is way too bouncy, actually. Maybe if we increase the tire pressure, it'll be better. But we just have a lot of, as they say, unsprung mass on the back, like a huge flat bed that doesn't have it. You know, the dampers are like halfway through the bed, and the rest is like kind of hanging there. And whenever there's a shock, it just kind of bounces, causing the whole car to bounce around. It's got really good brakes though. I'm gonna try this again with higher tire pressure, because as it is, it's too bouncy. Drives well apart from that though, very well in fact. So let's respawn, put the tire pressure back up, and try again. Still bounces around quite a lot. And there went that part again. I'm surprised we didn't lose the other part. Either last lap nor here. Okay, it's still bouncing around like crazy. Even with the increased tire pressure. Now the brakes are worse though. So with the lower tire pressure, the brakes are better. I guess it bounces around a lot either way. So that's it's really annoying, but apart from that, it drives actually pretty well. Next up, the Super Racer 2500 V8 Sport. $15. Come on, Beam. There we go. 15. This likes to drift, but when it does, it's actually fairly controllable. But there on the braking, apparently, it seems too front biased. Yeah, the braking balance seems too front biased. So this oversteers a lot. Both on the braking and on power. Whoa, even there. Yeah, we've seen better. I think this is one of the candidates that that we can probably exclude in the decision as to who's gonna win this challenge. We've seen a couple really good ones early on. But we got one more after this, so okay. Yeah, I don't like the setup on this one. Oversteers too much, both on power and actually no, we don't have one more. So which ones were the best ones? Let's see. Not this one. Not that one. Not this one at all. This was disqualified. This was not very good. This understeered too much. These two were really good. This was good as well, but maybe lacking a little bit in power. This did well, except for the fact that it just bounces everywhere. So it really is gonna come down to the first two that we've seen, actually. I think I'm gonna give it to the armor. This was, I don't know, this was the first car that I drove in Beam here in the competition. And it just felt right. Powerful. Responsive. Does oversteer a little bit if you wanted to. But when you don't, it just goes. The brake balance is right. It's got good downforce. Well, that was me braking late, and also I forgot to adjust the tire pressure. But even with normal tire pressure, this feels reasonable. This feels good. So this victory is gonna go to Armor Motors. Congratulations. I feel like this is just the best. This is just the most well-rounded truck of the bunch. The best balance. Reaching 200 kilometers an hour here before the braking point is fast, no matter what car you have. Sure, I've driven faster cars, no question, but this is like supercar level in terms of acceleration towards that chicane. We've seen other trucks in this competition that did that as well, but they didn't drive as well around the corners. So yeah, we have a winner. Congratulations. Yeah, very well done. I like this truck a lot. Well done to the other contestants as well, though. Like, this was certainly not an easy victory. Kind of a shame that this got disqualified, but yeah, 1 seat is not what we were looking for here. Apart from that, like, most people in this competition actually did a really good job, I have to say. It was kind of a unique idea, shall we say, to do a race truck challenge, but you know, makes it a little bit more interesting, more fun, right? Because you gotta mix it up with the competitions from time to time. Like, it can't all just be, hey, build me a supercar, right? That gets boring pretty quickly. Anyway, thanks guys for checking out the stream. I will be streaming again next weekend. Friday is obviously gonna be 4th of Friday, and Automation and Beam are gonna be on Sunday as requested by the community. So hope you guys enjoyed, and until then, have a good time. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.